Oh,
I hate summer.
oh my God. What time is it?
10:16.
What have we got to do?
Conquer the world.
And then what have I got to do?
Nah, it's a Thursday drop.
It's not. It's coming out tomorrow.
Nah, it's a Thursday drop or a Wednesday midday.
No, it's coming out tomorrow morning.
It's a Thursday.
We're recording, by the way. So
Oh, hello everyone.
that will be going on the socials. Where have you been?
What are you doing? The fuck's that?
I wish it was tequila or some description. I'm going to need it, I think.
Hard liquor.
I need confirmation. Were you just asleep?
No, I was fucking with you.
Okay, good.
Okay, do you want to hear the truth?
Yeah.
We surfed until 10 to 8 because it gets dark at like 10 to 8.
Mm.
By the time you pack the car, drive back, cook dinner, wash up, I was like, holy fuck, I've got to do a podcast.
Yeah.
And now I'm looking at you, and then I was like, fuck, it'd be funny if I do a prank because you obviously know that I go to sleep at like 8:30.
Yeah.
Do a bit of a prank, but you'll be delighted to know I was just having a shower.
Okay. Yeah. For the listeners, Zach had his phone on silent, rang him twice, no response. So I went through Lennox.
I haven't even looked.
Yeah. So I went through Lennox, who he's currently staying with down in South Sydney, and said something along the lines of, "Is Zach dead?" Because I was genuinely at times hoping that was the case, because I was sitting here for an hour and a half waiting for your little head to pop up. But
then I sent you this cute pic. That's nice.
Yeah. That was like nearly 2 hours later. I would have loved that 2 hours ago.
It's a good nipple.
I'll blur that one out.
Free the nip.
How was your day, mate? It better have been a good one.
Yeah. No, it was good. It was productive. Big day.
Good.
But
Good.
actually not too big.
Mm-hmm.
A bit of a power nap at like 3.
Mm-hmm.
Got in late last night, and then just kind of been powering on. But what about you?
Not a heat went on today. I had a day off. Played golf. You'll be pleased to know as well that I didn't have them today, but I've purchased some golf clubs. So I now have them. Yeah, they're on their way. Don't ask me what they are.
You bought freshies?
I bought freshies, mate.
Holy shit. That's insane.
Use some Qantas frequent flyer points. So
mate, to our listeners, if you are not using Qantas Marketplace or frequent flyers, you are dreaming.
Yeah. $250 these golf clubs cost me. Brand new set. And about $150.
$1,000 Garmin watch for $150 because I used like 150,000 points.
Yeah, I did the same thing. But yeah, we played golf the Savo. That was a train wreck. And then basically came back here and just been waiting to see your little head ever since. But we're here.
Little head is here.
How was the waves? Do you get good waves down there today?
Not today. Hopefully tomorrow is good, but it was just kind of air wind today.
Yeah. Where are you?
I am south of Sydney.
Right. Do you want to be more specific or not really?
I'm wherever you want me to be. Have a look at the map, and wherever your finger lands on that little town, that's where I am, people.
Okay. Yeah, righto. Well, anyway, it was good. It was imperative. We thought that we do an episode with me and you. We've had a couple guest apps. We've got a couple lined up for the next few weeks, but we wanted to jump in and get one of just us two, breaking down some of the most recent news, especially pertaining to the WSL. But yeah, like I say, it's the off season, but there's been some things to chat about, so we're keen to jump in and break some stuff down for you. Firstly, though, our little mate, the Grinch, came out of his cave, Mariah Carey style. He's emerged, and we're throwing him Surfer of the Week this week for for a wave he took off on at Jaws. Do you want to talk us through that one?
Yeah, Jaws doesn't really need any introductions. Everyone knows that's pretty skits, but I don't know about you. I feel like when you're surfing big waves and it's like macking offshore, it's just so much harder than what it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you're paddling in, you're getting salt water in the eyeballs. You have no fucking idea, like, if you're actually going to see the wave that you're catching. I reckon that just adds a level of, like, difficulty that is kind of underrated.
Yeah, especially I've never experienced waves to that magnitude, but
Either.
especially when it's hollow, and you've probably got only a limited amount of time to get yourself under the lip or down the face, and then for each paddle that you take extra, it's more and more that you're getting stuck up in the lip. And for him to just roll out, sort of like we said, Mariah Carey style, just pop out. There's the North Shore has turned on, as well as Maui by the looks of, and they're really getting some solid swell over there right now. And he's just come out and thrown down that wave, which I don't know. Does Maui count for wave of the winter? Does it have to be a pipe or around sort of Oahu, or can you get wave of the winter on Maui?
I'm guessing it's just the North Shore Strip. I think it's actually just pipe or backdoor, but could be wrong, but I'm fairly confident anyway.
Well, if not, it's going to be an early contender for that award, because the thing was nuts. We'll play it. We might even make an Instagram reel on it. But yeah, the Grinch comes out and does what he does and steals. He hasn't stolen Christmas yet, but he's stolen the show this week with that wave. That was incredible.
He's out of hibernation. But I do love that this one was actually sent to us by an avid listener, Owen Kilby. Thanks, Junior Source, for
Your apprentice.
This one. Yeah, the apprentice. He did really well. But
yeah,
it's always good when people are helping us out with Surfer of the Week. So any listeners out there, if someone's doing something really good, then flick it through to us, because we'll blast it for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of listeners sending us things through, we've had a Largo song sent through to us, which we haven't listened to. I've instructed you not to listen to it. I haven't listened to it either. Reclaim Surf on Instagram, his name is, if you want to check him out. But he's really on the big lift and has recorded, I think, about a 2-minute soundtrack for us based on. I think it goes. I just clicked on the link, looked how long it went for, and then got out of there. I didn't want to hear any of it. I think it'd be a disservice to react to it tonight on this, just because I don't know how the audio is going to go. I'd rather do it when we're in the room together. But just know that there will be a Largo song making an appearance on the podcast in the next, probably, if we don't do it in the next week or so, it'll be the week after, but it's coming, and we want to give it all of the merit it deserves in terms of our reaction to it. So we won't play it tonight, but any listeners, even like we don't necessarily need you to send us a song, but like, even we put out some questions, and we actually had one fella which we'll play later, just give us a voice recording, which is really cool, because we'll play them on air, and you guys can listen to those, like the other listeners' takes as well. Let's go into what is going on the WSL Tour next year. There's been a few changes announced. We'll give you a little sort of run through of firstly, what it's going to look like for next year. You've done the old chat GPT by the looks of, and thrown in an article and got it to spit out some nicely condensed sentences for us.
I did, Finley, because I really like Stab, but this time round, I just felt like it was a wordy bit of informative, jargon-filled. I don't even know where I'm going with that, but do you know what I mean? It was just really wordy, and I felt like just going, well, what is changing? When you've got a big headline saying something's changed, just tell me what the fuck it's changing. So I did that for them.
Yeah, beautiful. So I've kind of split it into two parts. We'll do just like the general tour overview, which we kind of have covered, but it's always good to have a refresher, and then we'll go into the changes after that. But do you want to run us through how the tour is going to look next year?
So this is a digestible version of a Stab article that was done, as well as other articles. It wasn't just us jumping on the back of Stab. Yeah. So the new format removes non-elimination rounds. So surfers are going to be heavily relying on seeding, which we'll get into soon. The women's CT roster will increase from 18 to 24 in 2026. The season consists of 12 events, 9 regular season stops, 2 post-season stops, and then there's a finale at Pipe. After the first 9 events, the field is narrowed down for the postseason. So that'll be 24 men, 16 women. And then they're the ones that go on to event 10 and 11, which I believe is Portugal and the pool, Abu Dhabi. Then for the final event at Pipe, all 36 men and all 24 women will reunite and go head to head at that event, which we now know is 1.5 points. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah. Finalists. The winner gets 15,000.
15,000 points. Yep. So that's like a 1.5 multiplier if we go into WSL kind of worlds. Sorry, fantasy kind of world.
Yeah.
And in the regular season, the best 7 of the 9 results will count towards qualification for the postseason. So you can still drop 2 events. For the men, seeds 29 through to 36 will surf 2 4-man heats, and those guys, whoever win out of those, will go into round 32, where there'll be obviously the top seeded men from 29 down, if that makes sense. I don't know if we spoke about it on the pod or if this was a conversation just between me and you, but we both feel like the crew that are 29 to 36, it might be a little bit of like a dog-eat-dog world in those rounds, because I just feel like they're going to get stuck in it.
We'll get into that because there's obviously some wild cards to talk about too. We'll look into that afterwards. But it's definitely going to be challenging, especially with the people that are going to be in that round. But sorry, continue.
That's pretty much the wrap up. But there's no more elimination round. There is 12 events, 9 regular, 2 post, which is like a cut. Realistically, it's pretty much a cut. Not really sure. I think that's actually going to stay for a bit too, I've heard. That's not just like a 1-year thing. That'll stay. They get to drop 2 events of the year, which is pretty stock standard by memory. So no real changes there. There's extra women, and there'll be seeded surfers from 29 and below that will dodge a pretty dog-eat-dog world. That's the wrap-up.
Well, and there's also so obviously we're going to have the man-on-man heats. You're going to the top seeds are going to automatically be seeded into round 2, which, as I alluded to before, is going to be interesting because probably the highest seeds that would normally be in these events are actually going to be in that elimination round, the initial round 1.
So that's only for year 1. That's not an ongoing issue.
That's just for this year. So, and we'll get into that now because in 2026 we're going to see the return of I don't even know how many world titles, probably 15 or so plus. But we're going to have John Florence, Medina, Steph Gilmore, and Carissa Moore all finding their ways back onto the respective tours. Just a hypothetical for you, Zach. You got to pick someone to win the title or challenge for the title, someone to fall off, and then 2 people to stay on. What are you running?
Before I get into that, I just want to mention that I don't think there's a more stacked wildcard allocation in recent memory, right? Like it's usually one kind of, I don't know, you'd call it like
usually an injury wildcard. It's never like to this extent where it's like someone probably gets injured and then they get given a chance back on tour. But to have all these world champions take a hiatus and then all come back on the same time is rare. Or I don't think we've seen the likes of this before.
No, it's pretty rare. It's a stacked field, so like it was no brainer going to go to them. You would have to imagine. But I'm going to go with, I reckon John's going to fight for the title. Medina's definitely not going to be like a mid-pack or like worried for re-qualification purposes. He's going to be top 10 throughout the whole year for sure. Carissa will have a bit of work to do to adjust, but I just feel like if it's going to be over 3 or 4 foot, or even like a 6 foot, she's going to be pretty hard to beat because she's known for her stocky stature and powerhouse.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to throw Steph Gilmore in a little bit of hot water. I'm not sure how she's going to go there.
Yeah.
Um, I think she's had a time to stop and reflect and smell the roses, and life's pretty good after tour by the looks of what she's been up to. Like she's just launched Cinca Tequila as well, so she's been busy. I'm curious to see if she's still got the burning desire to win.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm pretty close to you there. In that I think Medina will be the one that's really hungry for this title. He obviously John took a year off just to go and find himself, but as it would appear, Gabby's actually been forced out of it with that pec injury, so he's really chomping at the bit, you'd imagine, to come back in and start competing again. Whereas John, it sort of feels like he can take it or leave it at this point. He's obviously announced he's coming back, so he's clearly going to be hungry again. But I just think Gabby's going to have a bit of a chip on his shoulder. I think Carissa and John will be the guys that remain on tour. And I think, yeah, if anyone's going to fall off, it's going to be Steph, just given how many venues are this year that probably don't suit her style of surfing. She's obviously got your point breaks, which are always going to be good for her. But she's not going to be one you'll see registering results at CHAMPS or Fiji. And in the part, it's kind of, I can't think of a memorable performance she's had at either of those waves, to be honest. I don't know if you can.
Nah, it's more like a snapper rocks that comes to mind.
Yeah, and just bearing in mind there as well, it's highly likely that all of those remain on tour and maybe all of them challenge for a title, but just wanted to sort of put it out there, our thoughts on the guys that we think are going to be really, really pushing it, and potentially like Steph Gilmore falling off tour would be a bit of a shock, but in saying that, I think out of that list, she's probably the most likely to do so.
I'm calling that she's going to give it one lap around the calendar and then pull up stumps.
Yeah, and just to jump on that as well, the Green Room Times, I believe it was, made reference to an Instagram post where someone commented. So this is the initial comment. So it was relating to the announcements of John and Gabby's return to the tour. Someone commented, the difference in the WSL's wildcard announcement says everything. JJF gets an epic tribute, long text, heavy praise, superlatives, a full hero narrative. Medina, a 3-time world champion with equal achievements, gets a shorter, colder, flatter post. He goes on to say this isn't random, and starts bringing into question the WSL's biases and favoritism. And he reckons the script has already been written for next year. So I actually went and found both of the write-ups that the WSL did.
I just want to stop you there. Do I have to put my tin hat on? I didn't fucking pack it with me. Jets took it off me. I couldn't fly with it. They said there was too many like radiation. The radars weren't going to work on the plane. So are you going into that territory?
No, I'm not, man, because I wanted to do this in a way that was sort of blank, and then you could try and tell me which one you thought was better or worse of a write-up.
Try and be non-biased towards each side.
Well, I can't, because they kind of bring into it that one's a goofy footer, one's a natural footer, so I sort of can't really. You'll know straight away. Yeah. But just listen to these two and tell me if you think one is worse than the other. So this is John's. WSL wrote, 3-time world champ, pipe master, Eddie winner, and one of the most progressive surfers of all time. The dynamic approach John brings to wave riding is truly one of a kind. He blows minds and raises the bar for what's possible on a surfboard every time he paddles out, and now he's back in the jersey. So that's John. Here's Gabby. 3-time world champ Gabriel Medina is officially in for the 2026 Championship Tour season. World champ at 20, pipe master, 2-time Tahiti champ, breaking the 45-year goofy drought at J-Bay, the 15-year goofy drought at Snapper, landed the first ever backflip in a jersey, owns some of the best barrels ever seen, and there's much more history he's set to write this year.
What are we talking about? It's fucking apples to apples.
Yeah, it's really much a muchness. And if you actually go onto the WSL's page, which I'll do now because it's actually hilarious, when they do these announcements, they did like a number of posts back to back. And Gabby has like seriously, here we go, So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 consecutive Medina posts on WSL's page. John has 1, 2, 3. So I don't think we can be calling into question the WSL's biases, because I actually think it's probably the opposite. I think Medina's had a bit of extra publicity there. But just thought I'd bring your attention to that one, because that kind of...
That sounds like a mainstream media news headline, just full clickbait. If you ask me, they sounded identical, and I don't see the issue there.
Speaking of clickbait, did you see the Leo Ferranti get his kid out this week on?
Mate, fucking, he's been listening to a bit of Michael Bublé.
It's looking it's him and his I guess wife, right?
Wife, yeah,
they are actually, because Connor went to the wedding, but did a bit of a sort of not OnlyFans level, but a bit of a sort of
raunchy.
It was a raunchy shoot this week. Good to see. They obviously, Leo's not short of a penny, but still just getting those deals in where he can, as the hustler he is. But yeah, if you want to go and have a look at that one, it'll be on his Instagram page.
If you're looking to spice up your sex life, go have a look at these posts and send to your missus and say, look, this is what the rest of the world are doing. We should be doing these kind of Chrissy calendars for grandma.
Oh, God. We had some questions relating to the tour for next year, though, so we'll quickly dart back to that before we get too sidetracked. So Masciano wrote to us. This is his Instagram name. I assume it might be his name. But thoughts on man round one? What do you think about it?
To be honest, off the top of my noggin, it's much to muchness, isn't it? Like, you've got the same total, putting it 1-on-1. I think when it comes in handy is if the waves are really slow. Obviously, having one less person, look, I don't know all the data on it, but I would say most sets on Earth are 2 good waves. You get like the one dwarf wave at the front, and then 2 good ones, or the dwarf one at the back. So in theory, like, I guess, yeah, man on man's probably better, but I don't know. I'm not really going to sit there and march the streets of Melbourne and protest against it, to be honest.
It's just a kind of, I don't know, it's a bit more cutthroat, isn't it? Because you don't get that initial second chance. You're kind of in, and then you can be out just as quickly as you pull the Rashi on. I think from a viewing perspective, it's going to be good, because there's no fluff anymore. It's straight into it. And to your point with, like, I guess trying to keep things fair, and like if conditions aren't great, like you both have to surf it. So you can't really call into question that.
That's a good call. I think there is work to be done on trying to eliminate as much grey space in surfing. It is the Achilles heel of the sport. When people say, oh, why is it not as big as NBA or cricket or tennis or whatever? It is that. It's 8 hours of surfing throughout the day, like a broadcast might go for 8 or 9 hours, and there's 40 minutes of action. It is the most fucked sport to watch. So any way or any means of trying to reduce that grey space, I guess, probably worth trying. You don't want to throw 20 people out in the lineup and go, look at this free-for-all like a fucking Fortnite game. But I guess, I don't know, maybe this is one step closer. I don't know. Give it a go. That's all you can do, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the 3-man heat, or the non-elimination round was good when they had. Do you remember the round 4 back in the day? And you'd progress through, and then it was kind of like you get laid into the draw. All of the good guys remain that have been surfing the best at event, and then they throw them in round 4, and it was always the best round to watch. Like, you'd always see huge heat totals because it was no pressure. It was like, I think first place went into quarters, and then you lost you into round 5. I think that was sick. I think the round 1 can be a bit sort of, I don't know, dull sometimes, just because you do still have those lower seeds in it that maybe aren't putting up sort of 15 plus heat totals. It's kind of a lot of 8 to sort of 12 point heat totals that you don't really, they don't really get the heart rate above 60 beats per minute, you know. I think a round 4 setup could be cool, but I like that they're just going straight away. Like, if you're not winning early, you're gone. So I'm a big fan of it. The next question was, are there any other wild cards? For example, Ramsey or Ryan Callanan, both of those guys. This year, I think Ramsey with the injury, and then Ryan had a bit of a shocker and then just ended up, he had the kid and he pulled out of a couple of events.
Mm,
They would have been hoping to get some kind of relief from the WSL as in getting a spot on next year's tour. And I hate to say it, but there's only so many spots allocated. And when you have multiple world champions vying for that same spot, you're going to end up back on the Challenger Series. And for those guys, it's going to be no different. They're going to be battling it out in the Challenger next year, which is a shame. I think Ramsey's really deserving of one because he battled for so long to get there. And he was surfing really well. And
mm.
for that injury to chop him down, it sucks. But I hope he can come back. But yeah, John and Gabby are always going to have priority over there. And I even maybe a potential Tatiana Weston Webb back on the Challenger. I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything, but Steph and Carissa are going to be taking those wild cards, and I can't imagine there'll be a third. So maybe keep an eye on that one.
Yeah, it's a tough year. It kind of reminds me of when Liam O'Brien Lobby hurt himself pre-pipe, and then he already kind of knew subconsciously that it was going to be a tough pick when you've got, pretty elite crew out as well already.
Yeah.
So I feel like for Ramsey and Arcal, they've probably known for most part of the year that there's a very good chance that Medina and John are going to get it. So I don't think it would have been a surprise or a shock in that matter for both the men and the women. Like the four biggest names in the sport, arguably, mine is Kelly Slater. But yeah, I don't think there was any shocks there, really, is there?
Nah. I think they, as soon as they saw those announcements that they were back, or they probably even had been tipped off about it beforehand, but that was the final nail in the coffin for them, and they would have pretty quickly realised that they were going to be surfing it, I guess.
I'm pretty sure, Finley, it's actually a contractual agreement that they can take a 1-year hiatus and come
Yeah.
back. So it's just unfortunate that for surfers exercising their right of that agreement in the 1 year. So every other year, like there's at least a couple of injury wild cards, but this year, no go.
No good. Ash Jenner, what's going to happen to the Challenger Series / QS format now that the tour has changed? We actually don't know. We tried to find out.
I'm trying. I'm still trying. This will be, I would say, another episode in the near future.
Yeah.
I'm getting the sense that there's quite a bit happening behind closed doors, and it's probably not ready to be leaked yet, even at that point. Like, because it gets leaked, we've all got eyes and ears in the industry and whatnot. But unless I'm just sleeping under a rock, I'm not sure. I just feel like they're probably working on that now. Look, Ryan Crosby's probably always thinking when he wakes up in the morning, the first thought is the tour, and then it kind of breaks down from there into the challenges, into the regional QSs, and then pro junior, yada yada yada. So look, I feel like they've put all this time and energy into the tour 2026 onwards, and they're probably going to use this time now that it's been set up and established to work on the Challenger Series. That's my guess anyway.
And look, there's no doubt in my mind they know what's going to happen. It's just we don't know. But look, there's probably two things that can happen here. It's either going to be the old way where the tours run simultaneously at the end of the year. You have your 10 guys that drop off the World Tour. They are replaced by the top 10 on the Challenger Series, or back in the day it was the Primes. You're either going to have that outcome, or you're going to have, in the off season, they just condense it and just do a few really quick Challenger Series events. But I don't know how sort of effective that model is going to be. I dare say, if I was a betting man, they'd probably go back to the old way of doing it, just because they know it works. It just means you don't have that sped up nature of, I can fall off tour, go and do the Challenger and re-qualify for next season. You're going to have to sit out for a year, which is a shame, but the way the tour works, I think that's going to be the best way to do it.
Yeah, and I think next year, 2026, everyone needs to understand it's a bit of a messy kind of schedule, because it is the start of a new and the finish of an old. For example, correct me if I'm wrong, but there won't be two Newcastles
No,
starting to finish. It's just this year because it's yeah, like I said, they're just starting a new format. So a little bit of a teething year, I'd call it, coming up.
yeah, absolutely. We've got like I sort of alluded to earlier. We've got a voice recording. This is from Zach Doran. I'll play it through the speaker. Zach, hopefully you can hear this. If not, I'll just do it in post and edit it in
Sure.
separately. You
Go
should be
for
able
it.
to hear it still. Let us know if you can hear this.
Format even better. So, morning, boys. I have a question on how to make the format even better. So, basically, I loved growing up watching the Advanced Triple Crown. That was always so good to watch. It had surfers that were trying to qualify for the CT and CT surfers trying to re-qualify via the QS as well. And I think it was a really good couple of months for surfing. Now, the reason why I haven't brought it back since COVID, I believe, is because of revenue, but also how to fit it into the new schedule. So what I'm proposing is they finish off the year with the last 2 or 3 events of the Challenger Series as the Triple Crown. So you have Haleiwa, Sunset as the Challenger, and then Pipeline as the distant overlap, which they used to do. Now, I love how this works because you have both the CT and CS finishing in Hawaii. There's a big build up, and you get time in January to also have your own standalone Bike Masters for the Pipeline locals only. So that's all going to be a really good show to watch. You have sponsors, you have revenue, you have lots of people watching it. And I believe it'd be great for the sport.
Thoughts?
Solid. I do love the Triple Crown idea. I don't see value in Sunset. I'm sorry. I've said it before. I just it doesn't bring value for me. There's prestige there, but just absolute burger of a wave. Haleiwa's fine. That's a great wave. Obviously Pipe, fantastic. But yeah, I'm just stuck on Sunset Finley. I just can't let it go. It's just a
Yeah.
burger.
Have you got a wave you'd rather them have it at? Is there one there that you'd put in place of it?
Honestly, like, let's go look, Haleiwa. It's almost like a smaller, more high performance version of Sunset.
Mm.
Pipe is Pipe. Don't need to talk about that. What about like a Rocky Lefts? Like, how many video parts that come out of Rocky Lefts? Fuck,
Yeah.
every year there's a groundbreaking air. Like, then you've got who's got the biggest nutsack at Pipe and Backdoor? Who can kind of, do the biggest punt or high performance, high level surfing at Rocky Lefts and rights? And then who can blend the two between high performance and bigger kind of waves? You don't have to surf Haleiwa big, but it's just kind of punchy and whatnot. So I feel like that's, if I was in charge, that'd be the trio of dips I'd go for.
Yeah, I'd love for them to bring the Triple Crown back in some way, shape, or form. It was always great viewing. It was like a sort of tour within the tour, if that makes sense. Like, you're kind of looking at the leaderboards after each event, going who's in front here. I think we had Melling potentially win one year.
Yep.
Sebastian Zietz, I think, as well, was another one. But yeah, really,
John Florence won it when he was 13 or some shit.
we won a number of them. But yeah, like, and you just see these standout performers. Like, I can always remember seeing like Michelle Perez just hacking the shit out of Haleiwa. Like, I think those events need to be there and have the best surfers in the world surfing there. But I kind of am with you in the Sunset thing. Although Sunset does add its own sort of, I don't know, mistake to that, because it's such a myth of a wave. Like, you can really tell the guys who have put time in out there, they're always the ones in the final.
Yeah, but if we put time in at Lennox Pub, does that make us the greatest fucking surfers on earth?
No, not at all. But I mean, like, it's such a challenging wave to surf. You've seen.
Where's Lennox Pub?
Well,
what are we talking about? Like, let's be real. I know there's prestige. I don't want to be disrespectful in that manner, but when you look at it objectively, it's a wobbly shit wave.
Yeah. But basically, to answer the question, or basically agree with Zach there, I think it would be sick to have the Triple Crown back and have some kind of blend of having the pros, the local Hawaiian crew in the mix with the pros, and and just have that series running. Because John, like those guys would all go and surf in it, you know. So it just creates a bit of extra value viewing there for the WSL. More people tuning in. Like they've obviously got this mini Triple Crown sort of running right now with the event at Sunset, which Finn McGill won the other week. Then they're on at Haleiwa right now, which it's pumping. I don't know if you saw footage of it today. It was absolutely cool.
Nah, I haven't
It's
seen
like 6 to 8 foot, just stickest right walls. And then they do have one at Pipe too for the Florence Pro, but they're all 2000s events, so they're kind of like
That's
you're not.
nothing.
Yeah, it doesn't really have it, and there's no webcast, so you can't even get involved with it. I think having the Triple Crown back as sort of proper events, 10,000 points or whatever, and for the Challenger, and then also having that Pipe event at the end for whoever's doing well in the Challenger or like in the running to win the Triple Crown, they get wild cards into Pipe or whatever. You know how they used to run it. I think it'd be pretty mental.
I think Zach hit it on the head though in his voice memo there. It comes down to cost.
Yeah.
To run an event at that scale, like for example, broadcasting, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
No wonder there was, pirated kind of versions of was it Dahui backdoor shootout earlier this year? Black Bear did one or something?
Well, there's like, you end up just watching these things on the friggin' Surfline cameras because there's either like there is a webcast or that it's not very good or there is no webcast and it's your only option. I've watched events at Pipe before on the Surfline cam, which is like sad because you don't need even a proper like someone panning back and forth. You could just have a wide angle with a decent camera. I'd sit there all day and watch it. It just
Can I jump in there then?
Yeah, go on.
Sounds like there's a fix for that, Finley.
What is it?
Are you aware of the company Flow State?
No, I'm not.
They do the web cam view kind of thing at the wave pools. Do you know how you can do it at the wave pool? It's like it's not someone filming you. I'm pretty sure it's just a CCTV that like zooms in on you.
Yeah,
if that makes sense, and you can buy your footage from the wave pool.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
They've just developed technology where you need the newest phone. I think the 17 has like crazy zoom, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much pop it on the beach and you press go. It goes into their internal flow state, something or other, and it just watches like in a wide angle. And then you can pretty well go back and like look at your waves and it will zoom in, but like you don't have to, it's filming just wide angle, but then you can go back and zoom in yourself and it was like high quality.
Yeah, right.
And it's the competitor to Live Heats, I believe.
True.
So looks like look, they're testing it now and I don't know if I'm ripping the lid off on this, but I've already heard it from multiple people. So here it is. It looks like it's going to be widely used throughout board riders, other comps and stuff. It's not like a broadcast, but it's live replays for judges.
So when you say it's going to compete with Live Heats, do you mean like do they have their own system or is it they're going to adopt?
You can judge off it.
So you can.
You can judge, but then when you miss a score, it'll tell you and it will give you a replay of that surfer. So technically, you could not watch the whole heat for 19 minutes and 55 seconds. Quickly go look at all the replays and go, oh yeah, sweet. And then what it's doing is it's also learning because it's using AI. It will obviously age division specific. It's tracking all this data of like, okay, it watched this person do 2 turns. Okay, that's a 6. It watched someone do a turn and then fell off. That's a 3. And they think over, I don't know, let's just say off the top of my head, 2 years of that data, AI will judge the surfing based upon 2 years of people going, that's a 3, that's a 4, based upon the age division. So theoretically, in a couple years' time, we may not have judges, people.
How do you feel about that? That sounds sus as.
Well, it's not terrible because think about the amount of bias, especially at fucking board riders, towards judging. Like it's so subjective. Maybe a level of objectiveness is good.
Yeah.
It would fix our Mr. Dantes problem that we had on recently, where apparently Georgie Pitar got absolutely overscored, which we debunked, thankfully. I don't know. I don't think it's all bad news, but I think a level of subjectivity is necessary.
I'd love for surfing to be an objective sport. I love objective sports. They make just life so much easier. But like,
Yeah, but then you could do a flat spin air reverse that me and you can do with our eyes closed, and then AI'd be like 10-point ride, and then someone would do like a corked one and it would go 10-point ride. It's like, it would just be pointless.
Well, that's it. I don't know how effective AI is going to be at recognizing the subtle differences that only a surfer knows in terms of style and where people are placing turns and how much they're drawing turns out. And like you sort of referenced there, different types of airs that people are doing. Like, I mean, AI is pretty good. I don't want to doubt it, but I don't know. I just can't see it working in that realm. I'd love to be proven wrong, because if you could have an event where every score, because humans, there's error in everything we do. There's a level of error in judging, and generally they get it right, but oftentimes, like, maybe one score should have been higher, one score should have been lower. Like, to have every score judged in alignment with a certain scale would be sick. But yeah, I just don't see how the computer would, or the AI would differentiate between things that only a skilled level surfer or someone that's been watching it for a while can sort of access and see with their own eyes. I struggle to believe that that's going to be possible, but we'll see, I guess.
The first part sounds good, like the replays. That'd be great.
Yeah. Oh, I think the filming part's mental. Like, going down a lee bar or something, and you get a 7 or an 8 in your heat, and you froth, and you get a replay of it. You'd be chucking that on Instagram for sure.
And apparently 2 people can stand up at once. It uses it kind of marks surfers out there, like red dot. Obviously you can't see the red dot or whatnot, but it just marks their location so that it's one recording, but you can get 10 recordings out of it theoretically, if that makes sense.
Yeah, okay. Well, maybe chuck it to the listeners. Let us know in the comments or DMs if you think that AI judging is going to be a good thing or a bad thing, if you see it working.
I think if by the time we get there, AI's already fucking collectively killed us all, or I don't think this is going to be a worry. If you don't send us a comment that's 15,000 words long about how this will ruin surfing, because in 3 years' time we're either going to be dead or living in fucking utopia. Who knows?
Oh, that's bleak, isn't it? We've got some more general listener questions, which we'll get into.
Sure.
So Sam Griffo wants to know when you're going to stop wearing skinny jeans.
For anyone who doesn't know, so I came from a pretty corporate job in airports, obviously. And my uniform there was jeans or pants, I'd call it, but they were relatively skinny, I will admit. Shirt tucked in, belt, well groomed is the grooming standard and policy. So it took me a little bit of time, people, to adapt to the relaxed surfer feel, which is baggy duds, not just skinnies. And I wasn't just going to go throw out my lifetime worth of somewhat skinny jeans and just go get the new ones straight away. It takes time. Like, I'm not going to just go throw that out. That's a waste. So when we say time, Finley, there is a certain pair of skinny jeans that may or may not get worn in the office. And might I add, I get fucking blasted, but I'm getting there. They're getting baggier by the fucking month.
When we say skinny jeans, can we just have, just for the listeners and for me also,
they're not like the tight leather ones that you see on like the tearaway pants. Not like that.
Just like any breathing room, or is it pretty like they're not painted on?
No, not painted on at all. They're not tights. I just think they were maybe a little skinny than what they were used to. But that's fine. And I'm getting there, getting to the baggier duds.
You do wig me out because it's like 30 degrees and you just wear long pants around everywhere you go,
everywhere, Indo, everything. Wear long pants all year round.
That's ridiculous. Jaden Willow, how'd you go with the raw chicken from Stocklands? Now, for anyone not listening, Zach bought a very suspect looking raw chicken from a
it was medium rare.
It was a medium rare chicken.
It wasn't raw, but it was medium rare.
Were you glued to the dunny afterwards, or was it all good?
People, you'll be thankful to know that I survived the chicken with no impact on my life. It was fine. I think I might be some sort of new type of sapien that can eat medium rare chicken. They might write stories about me. It was questionable. I asked many people in the office, I said, is this pink? And everyone kind of said, yeah, it's pink. And, times are tough. I'm not going back to get another chook. I just copped it and I'm fine. Jaden, I am fine.
Have you seen the guy you probably haven't, you're not as glued to your phone as I am, but have you seen the guy on Instagram who just will eat raw chicken out of the packet?
No, but technically there's nothing wrong with raw chicken. It is the E. coli problem that is found on raw chicken, but it's more so the chicken itself doesn't have the E. coli. It's how it's kept that attracts E. coli.
Commonly found on raw chicken. Is it salmonella? Is that the one?
Salmonella, E. coli, those kind of things, yeah.
So if anyone...
Well, chicken's not born with salmonella, if that makes sense. You can eat raw chicken if it is preserved incredibly well. You're not guaranteed to get it.
Please no one eat raw chicken at home after Zach's recommendation. It's not going to go well for you. We've got a bit more of a surfing, I don't know, rule inquiry here from Max Grant. Who has right of way? Someone who paddles from the outside and stood up first, or someone who's closest to the peak, which I imagine he means on the inside?
Got a clear answer here. It's just whoever's been fucking sitting there the longest. And I hate it when it's tiny and longboarders or someone like riding like a mid-length will just go a little bit further out and then expect the first version of what you're saying. Like they go out further and I'm standing up first. It's like, well, no shit, you're on a fucking glider that's 15 foot long. I'm on I don't know, just like a fish or something like that. I can't go out there. I would be out there with you if I fucking could. So don't go 12 Ks out to sea on the horizon, get this wave on your fucking glider, and then look at me like, why is he paddling? It's like, this is not how it works in my head. Anyway, I don't know about you.
No, I agree. I nearly went for the person who paddles outside and stood up first. That generally is the call if you've sort of been waiting for similar amount of time as someone else. But if you're just consistently paddling out on a longboard and taking off 20 meters further out than everyone else, then you're a dickhead. But yeah, I think you nailed that on the head there, really.
To be fair, if someone's not sitting, like if they're on the shoulder, this goes out the window. Like, I'm not waiting for you to catch a fucking shoulder. Like, this sitting on the shoulder, I'm not waiting. I'm going to go 10 meters deeper.
Yeah, absolutely. Noah Dent, East Coast Sharks are getting out of control.
I think we spoke about this off camera. I don't think so. And I hope I don't get fucking absolutely smoked by a shark tomorrow by saying this, but it's just social media. Like, there's no doubt about it. That would have to be the primary reason as to why everyone's senses are heightened. It's just you can hear about a shark attack anywhere in the world within minutes, and there's graphic content that is high quality shared around to the masses. I just think it's social media, if you ask me. Yeah. What I will say though is, and this is probably the most common discussion I hear, is when something is so heavily protected, you can only assume that population numbers will increase. And I will defer everyone to Ain't That Swell's podcast that they recently did with the shark guy. A fair few people have been getting around that. And they said it's a great listen. So head over there and listen to that one. It kind of sounds like it's semi-pro culling.
Yeah, okay. Well, there's definitely been a lot of attacks this year. I don't know the exact number, but there's been a fair few. So it does...
I think we're up to 7 fatalities now.
This year?
Yeah.
Well, that goes way beyond the old sort of, you're more likely to get hit in the head by a coconut and die. You know what I mean? Like, remember that one?
Here's the thing with that. If you're on a tropical island with 12,000 coconut trees and it's 40 to 50 knot winds, then like that is a real stat. It's just, you need context behind it.
Well, but like, those sort of throwaways like that one, or you're more likely to get killed by a cow or something. It's like, no, like
Hot cam machine falling on you.
yeah, like it's really not now. It's kind of like there is something going on when you have this many people getting attacked and a lot of fatalities. But yeah, it does seem like it is getting a bit out of control. But we will see. I don't know how you solve that, and it's not really up to us.
I think if you're a parent and you're worried about your kid going out and surfing, and they own an e-bike, then you're fucking born yesterday, if you ask me. Like, there's an e-bike death every fucking, probably, I don't know the numbers on it, but it seems like once a month on the Gold Coast alone. So
yeah,
I don't know, damned if you do, damned if you don't. It's a way of life for most. So we're just going to keep doing it. Roll the dice, I guess.
Yeah. Now another question I'm going to butcher this. This is his Instagram handle. Maria Desur, I'm going to go with.
Sure.
JS new team rider. I'm going to pretty happily rip the lid off this. Jack Robinson will be riding for JS when he comes back from his break. It hasn't really been officially announced yet, but just when you see him come back on some JSs, you just know you've heard it here. There's been whispers forever, and usually when there's smoke, there's fire, and we've had it on very, very good authority that he's got some of those under his feet already. Well,
I
not
think
right
the
now.
whispers go back to the Burley event, like earlier this year, which would have been May.
Yeah, and he was spotted having meetings with him, and there's been some personnel changes at Sharp Eye, and there's been a few sort of little bits of uncertainty thrown around, and I think maybe Jack's looking to have something a bit more. I don't want to speak for Jack here. Like, we have no idea what his thought process is, but coming from my perspective, I think he's looking to have a bit of continuity and someone that he can work with. JS isn't going anywhere. He's always going to be JS. It really suits that feel of surfing that Jack does. You look at Joel Parker, Andy Irons, like he's kind of got a blend of all those guys. He's got his own bit too, but I really think it's a good fit. And yeah, when you see him roll out with some fresh JSs next year, just know you heard it from your old boys here. Cam Duke, will Toledo make top 10 or is he done? I have a feeling I know your answer to this one, but just give it to us.
Fuck, Finley, I'm going to go against 2025 and just say this is going to be a new year for Toledo.
So you're calling Philippe 3.0?
I think because he's been an avid listener of our podcast and he's probably like, fuck, Zach, man, he's so right. Fuck, yeah, I need a fucking firecracker up my ass. And I feel like we might see a new Toledo. I don't know, just got this inkling. I don't know. We've been like this. For anyone who's listened from day dot, like when we pick our fantasy service, sometimes I refer and I just say, I don't know, Finley, just get a little tingle in my nutsack sometimes when I get these things. Most of the time they don't come to fruition, but sometimes they do. So this one, I'm just going to throw it at the wall and see if it sticks.
Okay, Toledo 3.0 confirmed. I'm a big Toledo guy. I think he's just always going to be in that top 10 every year. He rolls out on tour. I think he's just way too dominant at some certain stops that he just wins at or finals at, and it come the end of the year, it's enough to have him inside that top 10 scenario. Do I think he's going to win the title next year? No, I don't. I think the extra points at Pipeline is going to play a major factor in the world title winner next year. And I think Philippe might be the sort of person that doesn't appreciate that so much. But I think
Can I just say though,
yeah,
it is a cumulative points. So if he wins 7 events, then he's not even fucking going to Pipeline.
Yeah, no, and you're right there. If he does that well throughout the year, then yes. But I think with Medina and John back, I think they're going to be pushing him all the way to the end.
Fair comment.
And then just like a real general one, which I like. I love fire pits. What boards are we riding at the moment?
Yeah. I'm riding a hand-shaped Phil Murray Mustang surfboard local shaper. I'm riding a Juliet as well, DHD Juliet.
With
probably the best surfboard ever made, in my opinion.
And it's got a huge crease in the bottom of it, which you've been surfing for, I don't know, God knows how long. I'm surprised it's still in one piece.
Stringer's still not split, but the rail is cracked. And can confirm I rode it today at a rock bottom wave and it didn't break in half. So
You're
kudos to DHD and Shui.
you're an accident waiting to happen. It's one of Mikey McDonough's old ones, and it's
No, it's
friggin'
not. No. This is a El Customo.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Glass better than Mike's. Mike's, or not better, but more heavily. Mike's generally riding boards that are really, really light. Yours not so light, but
It's got a 3/4 patch on it. Seems to be working a treat.
Yeah, 3/4 patches as well for anyone out there are amazing for anyone that wants to ride a surfboard that's light or lighter, but doesn't want to get doesn't want to compromise on strength, because it essentially just removes that top quarter of the glass that they use on the nose of the board, which the board's never really snapping up there anyway. Takes a little bit. It's not much, but it all counts at the end of the day and just helps keep your board light. So 3/4 patches are amazing. I'm riding a combination of a few. I've got
Finley
the
just
one.
won the lotto.
Yeah, well, I'll get to that. I'm riding a Merrick Fever, which is I'm just riding that and everything. And back to the point before, we posted a clip this week of us surfing. So the board that Zach's riding in that clip where he does a big punt on is the one that's actually creased, which probably should have snapped then and there on that air. Would have been funny if it did. I'm riding the Merrick in that too. So they're kind of the boards we've been riding mostly. But yeah, that goes really well. I'm going to Indonesia in January. Just ordered 4 freshies. I'm pretty frothing, and I'm refusing to ride them until I get to Indonesia. They've been sitting in my room for nearly, probably not a month, maybe 2-3 weeks now. I'm just staring at them. I'm spraying them up just slowly. I've sprayed 2. I've got a Fever and a Rook 15 off Merrick, and then I've got 2 Juliets.
You know what that reminds me of, Finley? Not riding them.
What?
Buying a fucking TV and leaving the remote in that little plastic fucking casing.
I just want to christen them in Indonesian waters, Zach.
It reminds me of when you go to grandparents' house and they've still got the plastic on the lounge.
Well, the board I'm riding right now, I have been riding. I kind of made that call out to the 3/4 patch. I've just been doing straight 4 on top and bottom, and I've been really enjoying it, but they don't last as long, which is just part and parcel of having a board.
Don't last as long, though, remember. They're purpose-built. They're there to be flogged. They're there to have fun. And then you get a new one.
Absolutely. So this thing I've been riding in everything, and it's getting to the point now where just like putting it in your car and then you drop something on it, or it's got dents just starting to appear. I don't know how much longer it's got left, but we may have to call into action one of the 4 freshies beforehand, but hopefully not. And the sprays that you might remember from an earlier episode, me talking about how how bad I am at spraying surfboards. I've done some pretty impressive sprays on these. I'm really happy with them. So
you know, I've got a crystal ball, Finley. Whenever I've done this in the past, it ends one way.
What?
They break straight away.
Don't.
Yeah. So it's not me, mate. It's you. You've given yourself this conundrum. I feel like the more time you let them cure and the more time you put into the spray, it just kills the longevity. It's just voodoo. Someone up there watching just going, I'm going to break this thing in half on a 1 foot day at fucking Uluwatu.
Well, my misso's write me off because she reckons I don't need 4 boards to take the Indo for 2 weeks, which could be a fair point. But when you've got them glassed pretty lightly, I'm fully expecting to snap 2. I'm hoping.
I can already tell you're going to duck dive and some Scandinavian woman is going to get sucked over the falls and she's going to put her nose of her surfboard through your 4 boards all at once.
Brilliant. Thanks, mate. Thanks for the support there.
No, it's just factual evidence based upon my prior experiences of these things.
Yeah. Well, end of the day, I've got 4 boards. I'm really excited to ride them. Thanks for putting the mocker on me. But yeah, in about 3 or maybe a month or so, I'll be riding them. So stay tuned for that, because there will be hopefully some clips coming out of some good waves in Indo, which will be nice on fresh boards. I'm excited. So I'll go and find a local guy to film me and throw some cash their way. I think there's a few guys over there that do it. So it'd be good to get some, and even maybe some board reviews, considering I've got 4 of them. It would be rude not to, right?
Sure.
We'll move on from that, though, into just wanted to have a bit of a call to action, a fire up for the ISA World Juniors that are about to take off in Peru. So Team Australia's sort of entered a pretty impressive team of surfers. I'll run through them now for you. So under 18 boys, we've got your boy Sammy Lowe, former Australian champion.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Last year.
Yeah, last year. So he's over there. We've got Mitchell Peterson too, and Maverick Wilson. Three really impressive Australian surfers that have been coming through on the under 18 girls side. Miller Brown, Sierra Kerr, and Isla Huppets. So those 3, we set it similar to the actual the men's ISA World Games, where we expect the Australians to really dominate. I think, especially in the under 18 girls division, we should be seeing all 3 of those girls in the quarterfinals, semifinals minimum. I reckon they're all so impressive. And just a little call out as well to Sierra Kerr, who has been sort of put through the ringer this year with Lyme's disease, I believe. Really cool to see her back, and would be amazing to see her stand on the podium at this one and get her name back in the headlights. She just did that pretty crazy punt in the wave pool, which got her name back out there again, but she'll be looking to get some competitive success, and I think this is a great place to start. Yes.
Wasn't a backflip.
We've covered this, but thank you for reaffirming.
Sure.
Under 16s. So we've got Ocean Lancaster, who is he's pretty much he's a combination of a few guys, but whenever I see this guy surf, I just think Morgan. They surf similarly. I think it might just be the sort of shorter, nuggetier stature of them, but really, really flary turns, really fast as well. Caden Francis from Cooley, and Maxi McGillivray, another one of your boys and our boys at Liba. So go Maxi. And then under 16 girls, Lucy Dara, who just recently won a QS 6000 in NEAS. Olive Hardy from WA, and then Charlie Haitley from Burleigh. So another really impressive list of surfers there.
Looks like the waves are pretty fun, Vinley.
Oh, it looks incredible. Like they're putting these ISA World Games on in waves that I think they should really be having tour venues. Like they're so good. That El Sunzal or whatever it is that they had the last one out, that wave is just perfect looking also.
Not when I went. They went to a fucked wave and you had to go through a Air Force base. So yeah, absolute nightmare.
Not fun.
And then huge wave.
I just want to also put a little call out to the Vanuatu team as well, who we've kind of been keeping tabs on a little bit. We had Sasha Manoa, and I think a guy that I'm not familiar with. I think his name's Daniil, potentially. But I'm not so familiar with that guy. But the other 2 I've surfed with over there, and they're really impressive surfers. They're going to be underdogs. When you're coming from any of these Pacific Island nations, it's really hard to get any kind of exposure. There's no real. They try their best with the resources and the surfers that they have there to have events, but you don't have the depth that we have in Australia, where you're consistently versing guys that surf better than you or surf as good as you, and you're going head to head. It's really hard to find that. And I know they've been going to camps in they've been going to Fiji or like Tahiti, like places like that, where the other Pacific Island nations have been taking their guys and doing sort of little get-togethers, which has been cool, and I think will really help build the level of surfing in these locations. But they're really doing the best they can with what they've got, and they're killing it. So it's cool to see those guys over in Peru. So fingers crossed they can get some results also.
Good on ya. Good shout out.
And other than that, Zach, that's kind of all we've got.
One more thing before we go to bed.
Hit me.
QS 4000 Burleigh announced.
Yes.
Coming about fucking time.
Yeah.
This is absolutely bizarre that we don't have at least a 6,000. So might be a sign of good things to come, Finley, if we've got a 4,000 at Burleigh. Hopefully that's just a staple event that just is booked in year upon year. Such
Is
a good
that
spot for it.
is that for this year's tour?
Oh, mate, like I said earlier, it's just a bit of a schmozzle of a year. I think it's this year's tour, yeah, and then it finishes I think it's actually the same as the Challenger. It finishes and starts at Phillip Island.
Right. Okay. So we're gonna have to see our boys Caleb and Lennox get the boots back on and get back out there, right? I'm sure they would anyway.
I believe so. Yeah.
It's early, but with 4,000 points, like 2,000, you can kind of afford to miss them, but 4,000's creeping up, and they want to sort of retain their ranking and ensure that I'm pretty certain they're safe, but they want to make sure they're not falling too far down the rankings. You want to finish as high as possible, so we'll be sick to see those guys getting stuck in at Burleigh. But yeah, we'll finish it up there. Thanks for listening. We got it done. It's 11:23. We may as well have just done a live stream, really, right? Because they're listening to it pretty much directly after we've recorded it.
It's fresh off the press. That's what the people want, Finley. They don't want old news.
No, and we did have, like, we could have easily posted. We had a interview with, well, can we call it an interview or podcast? We had a podcast with Chris Cote, famed WSL commentator, creator of Transworld Surf, or one of the creators of Transworld Surf, editor-in-chief there forever, and just a guy that he's entertaining for starters. He's just a walking entertainment machine, but he's also got some pretty incredible stories. We were lucky enough to have a chat with him last week. That one's ready to go, but we wanted to just jump in and quickly just go over the tour, have a bit of a catch up with everyone, get some questions, and just talk some rubbish before we go into a few really cool podcast episodes that we've got coming out. So
Yeah,
stay tuned for that.
coming.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, thanks again for listening, guys. Zach's gonna go to bed. I'm gonna edit this and post it.
Love you.
Yeah, righto, mate.
Say back.
Love you too, Zach. All right. Hopefully
you look at me in the eye when you do that next time.
I'll look at you in the eye next time if you get here at 9 o'clock, not 10 o'clock. How about that?
Blame fucking summer. It gets dark. What about the kids, man? Like, how do you tell a kid to go to bed and then he looks outside and there's someone fucking going for a surf at 6:30 at night? Like, what does he do? It's like, what? How's dad saying go to bed and that guy's literally putting a wetsuit on to go surf for another hour?
Yeah.
Like, it must be hard.
Well, I was playing golf when you text me saying you just got out of the surf and it was dark here. So I was going, I could maybe foresee this coming. But I think we did pretty good, to be honest. Like, I was worried that you were going to be a zombie.
I was worried. I don't know if you've seen Mr. Bean's Holiday when he puts toothpicks in his eyes and he's like this.
I wish you rocked up onto the camera like that. It would have made my day.
There's your thumbnail for the YouTube. Hello.
I'm actually going to make that. But yeah, thanks for listening, guys. And we will speak to you next week. Sayonara.
Bon voyage, peoples.